How do you think about it or describe and teach it to people around the world?
So, as you know, with manifestation or that terminology, there's a lot of woo-woo and pseudoscience. And a lot of people take advantage of that. And it turns, unfortunately, into a money-making opportunity for some people. The reality is, though, that actually the ability to manifest is fundamentally based in neuroscience. There is no woo-woo, there's no magic, there's no law of attraction. Based on the history of it, back in the 1st and 2nd century, the Hermetics came up with this idea, and it's been propagated through different prosperity gospels and all sorts of other things, as if you have positive energy and you put that energy out in the world, you will be able to manifest the Porsche, the Ferrari, the mansion, and but if it doesn't happen, it's your fault, because you didn't care enough or you didn't do it the right way, or just buy another book and I'll tell you the real way to do it. But fundamentally, it's based on neuroscience. And what I mean by that is the way in which you manifest, and I'll define manifestation, is the ability to take an intention and embed it into your subconscious in a manner such that it has the greatest likelihood to occur or to manifest. And what I mean by that is what people don't appreciate is every second we have about 6 to 10 million bits of information coming to us from our sensory organs. That's what makes us who we are. That creates our reality. But on a conscious level, we can only deal with 50 to 100 because 99.9% go to maintain our bodily function. That 50 to 100, though, you have control over.
50 to 100
bits of information.
Bits of information.
So how do you deal with that? Well, you take the tools, and what I mean by that is the tools to embed something into your subconscious.
Okay.
The best way to do that, and I'm sure you've heard the term, what fires together, wires together.
But can you explain that for the person
Sure.
listening? What does that mean?
So if you create habits,
Mm-hmm.
this results in the creation of neural pathways. And if the mere repetition of those habits actually lays down the circuitry that then gets embedded and then actually makes things happen. And I'll explain it as follows. When you are able to use all of your sensory organs or abilities to embed that intention and do it repeatedly, that is when you're creating these neural pathways. As an example, if you have an intention, you take a pencil, you write it down, you're actually doing something physical, tactile, then you read it silently, then you read it aloud, then you visualize that, and you do that over and over and over again. What that will do is then embed that into your subconscious. And then these different cognitive brain networks get activated.
Now, can we unpack that just a minute?
Sure.
Because everyone that listens to this loves to make sure that they just got the instructions from you, Dr. Doty, because I'm like hanging on every word. And so there were a couple steps to that, because you had the physical pencil, you had the act of writing, you had this moment where, if you're watching on YouTube, you saw it, but if you're listening, let me describe it. He sat back in his chair, he put his hands kind of in prayer at his chest, closed his eyes, and he started talking about repeating the thought. Is that the chain of events that you do to encode it in your mind?
Yes, absolutely.